Hello, my name is Debbie Ison of Tranquil Awakenings, and I'm a therapist and a therapy trainer. And today I'm going to talk to you about curses. Now, what do I mean by curses? Well, what I mean by curses are either a negative intention that's either set towards the self or that's directed towards someone else. And the reason I want to talk about this briefly today is because on occasions I will have a client that comes to work with me, and when we go to the root of the issue, we discover that there is a curse in place. Now, it all depends on whether or not they're the person who has placed the curse on another individual or individuals, or whether it's being put on them, as to how it's impacting their life. Now, the thing is, with anything that we do, it's important to always understand that other people have got free will, and when we violate that and send negative intent towards someone, there is going to be consequences. So there are occasions when I have worked with somebody who's had all sorts of mishaps, problems, illnesses, issues within their lifetime. And when I ask them to go back to the energetic origin, it's quite often rooted in a previous life. We discover that they practiced blood magic, black magic, dark magic, and had placed curses upon other people, either within relationships or within their communities. And as a consequence of that, what's happened is they need to then learn the lessons and face the repercussions of that. And that means that issues then come back to them within their present lifetime. Because you see, anything we do to others ends up getting reflected back at us. So if we're sending harm out to other people, it will come back to us at some point. So when I'm working with a client who has placed a curse on other people, either in a previous life or this life, part of my job is to make them understand that that's causing them harm and problems, and it prevents also the person they've cursed from learning their lessons and progressing also. So it doesn't really achieve what they've set out to do. And once they understand that, it's a simple case of getting them to revoke and remove the curse and allowing healing to take place within themselves and other people. And providing that they've learnt the lesson not to do that anymore, things should start to improve quite quickly. Now, the other scenario is when somebody comes who's had a curse placed upon them. And this can make the person feel very poorly, very ill. It can cause all sorts of mental, emotional and physical stresses, as well as lots of mishaps and misdemeanours in day-to-day life. Now, once again, that concept of free will is vitally important, and it's important for that individual to recognise that they have got choices to whether or not they accept that curse that's placed on them, or whether they reject it. So upon getting them to the point where they reject it, what we can do is we can set the intention that that curse is nullified and is basically returned to sender. Now, always my first port of call whenever we are disconnecting a curse is if we're sending it back, I would much prefer it to be sent as healing for the individual who sent it, as love, as kindness and compassion. So I always ask for it to be transmuted into that before it's returned to them. However, there are some occasions where they need it to be sent as it is so that they can understand the repercussions of it, so that they can learn their lessons and grow, and to ensure that they don't repeat that in future. Now, sometimes these curses are very intentional. Somebody might have placed a spell. Other times it might just be a very, very strong thought form. So if you're thinking really angry thoughts, really negative, hateful thoughts towards another person, that can project as a thought form or a curse. And what I mean by a thought form is an entity almost that goes to attach to the other person. However, it doesn't have consciousness or free will, the same as a real entity, either of a deceased person or a dispossessed spirit. So once again, if I have to work directly with something that's almost manifested to be lifelike, it's getting it to realise that it doesn't need to carry out its master's bidding, and it can go forwards into the light of its own choice and its own free will. So I hope you found that interesting. It's just a tiny little touch on curses. Just remember, if you feel you've been cursed, block it, return it to sender with love and light. And there are lots of different ways to do that. I'm currently in the process of creating an online workshop to teach you lots and lots of different methods of psychic self-defense so that you can protect your energy and heal your energy, and also your home and your environment around you. I shall keep you updated on that, and I'll let you know when it's going to be released. Please remember to like and subscribe, and do let me know in the comments if you've ever encountered a curse that's either been placed upon you or if you've heard about it within wider society. Take care and have a great day, and bye bye for now.